So I've been asked quite a lot recently about referencing stuff. I'm going to go through some things on APA referencing. First of all, about structure, just quickly, in your intro and your conclusion, there is no referencing. There should never be any referencing if you're doing an essay or a personal reflection. They don't require referencing. The intro is here to rephrase the question and give a list of arguments, and the conclusion is to sum up your arguments and make a strong statement in relation to the question. With your referencing, as you're going along, so here you are typing, I'm the body, I've said a few things and I need to reference something. Let's say that this was the document that I was looking at, which is from the library, and I want to reference it, but I don't know how. Like, I'm just starting out, not quite sure what to do. Then what you can do is just copy this link up the top. Would be a thing that you think to do, but really what you should do is this is the permalink. So this link will actually take you, when you click it, to log in and then bring you back to the reference. Now, paste that link. It's quite long. The reference is not done. In fact, that's completely the incorrect way to reference. But when you're writing, it's really important to put in the material as quickly as possible to kind of keep going with your ideas. So you can easily come back to that later on, so that you can just click on it and it'll bring you back, and it'll either ask you to log into the student web or it'll take you directly to the resource. Right? Now, while you're here, so here it's brought me back to the resource. It hasn't brought me back to the PDF. Obviously, I can get to that over here. Over on the right-hand side in the library, you've got the citation tool. And now I'm going to do APA. So I've already copied this. So you would highlight that, copy it, bring it over to your document and paste it, which I've already done down here. Now, that is your end of text reference. And it's not even 100% correct, because when you paste that, it won't have the italics in there. So you've done this, it's still not 100% correct. But for the in-text reference, all you need is this first part. So you copy it, you paste it, and then what you want to do is just leave in the surnames. So take out the first initials and put a bracket in. Now, you don't have to write EZ, EG, right? Once you've put that in-text reference in, get rid of the link and you're done, right? Author or authors and year. Now, there are some intricacies to this, like if there's 3 or more authors and all that kind of stuff, which I'll show you where to get information about that in the Lib Guides. But in general, that's what you should do. Paste the link, the permalink, very, very important if it's out of the library catalogue, into your document so that you know that that's where you got that material from, and then you can continue on writing, come back once you've finished the idea and finish off the reference. For the end of text reference, I've got 2 references in here. So one is a website and one is the journal article we were just looking at. Now, I've built these references, so I've got the authors or the organisation, the year in brackets. There should be a full stop after those brackets. The title of whatever I'm looking at is in italics. Now, this is for APA. In Harvard, it has a slightly different format. So be aware that I'm talking about APA. I'll show you where to find the Lib Guides. And then this is the journal that it's come from. So this is the article, remember? And then this is the actual journal, the volume number, the issue number, and the pages. All right? So that might not even be 100% correct. I'm not 100% sure. But regardless, it's very, very close. It's a lot of information. The teacher should be able to find the reference material from that. Now, if I want to reference this in text, I literally just copy the organisation and the year, and I'm done, right? So author or organisation and the year. Now, for the end of text referencing, once you think you've got all the end of text referencing in there, you highlight it all, and in your ruler up the top, you want to actually drag across to 1.5 and everything will come across, and then take the top square and bring it back to 0. The next thing you want to do while it's still all highlighted is find your line spacing and change it to double. Now that there is a perfect reference list. It's double spaced. There's an indent. The indent can be between 1.25 and 1.5, and it's perfect. So That's what you do once you've finished. You make sure, even I think 1.5 is a bit extreme, so I'm going to pull that back to 1.25, right? So that's what you do with your formatting. You've got to make sure that this is on a separate page with the heading references, and that should be centered. There should be no blank line, so there shouldn't be a blank line in between any of this. So make sure that it is all double spaced. So we know where this first reference ends and where the next reference begins. Now, if you can't find some of this information, like if you can't find a date, or you can't find a title, or you can't find the name of the journal that it's come out of, then you don't have it. You can't find it. For example, in this website, you might be like, "Where's the date? Where is it?" And most website dates, if they are available, will be right down the bottom of the page. Right? Now, that's given a specific date because there was obviously an update of policy or something to that effect. But you can just put the year. That's sufficient, right? And the other thing with websites is obviously to put in the date that you retrieved it, because websites get updated quite often. And so therefore the information gets updated. And if the teacher has the date that you looked at it, they can understand that things might have changed. So those are just some quick tips for referencing for APA. If you want to look up the Lib Guides from our library, you want to come to the student web. And once you're into student web, up the top right-hand side, first menu item is library. And don't click on it, just hover over it. And the second thing from the bottom is Lib Guides. The Lib Guides will take you to a page where we have a whole bunch of databases and guides for doing different things. Over on the right-hand side here, where I'm clicking, you've got Harvard referencing, IEEE, and APA. Now you can go into those, and what it will show you is how to reference all the different types of materials that you'll go into. Most popular are obviously books, websites, and electronic journal articles, and academic publications. Those are obviously the four most obvious things that you will use, but there's also stuff here like if you're going to use YouTube, or if you're going to use government documents. And there's also even reference list examples, so you can kind of see the finished product and see what it should look like. Obviously, the indent is not there, so that's not perfect. But regardless of that, I did find another sample here. But anyway, that's how you get to the Lib Guides, that's how you get to the samples, and that's some quick tips for referencing. Good luck.